love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They'll also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam, and we are joined with our analyst Maurice Clarett.
What's good?
There we go.
Yo, what's good,
What's
killer?
happening, Mo? Murder, what up? Mo,
Everything.
what's good?
Enjoy life.
You enjoying life, Mo?
Enjoying life, brother. Everything working out. Everything great.
What you do today?
Good.
Man, I had a busy day. Actually, today was real busy. Finished the building that we've been working on for about a year. Opened up a new practice up in Northern Ohio, so that was a good deal. I was in Home Depot and Lowe's for most of the day, listening to the show. I just had a good day, man.
Do you need a logo?
Yeah. But show us your graphic arts, your graphic designer skills.
What's the name of the company? I got my marker, you know.
Okay, so dial us up a logo. We called Ohio Foot and Ankle Specialists. And so just to give you context, we're the largest group in Ohio, right? So we do all podiatric needs, all foot and ankle needs. So we got to have like a classy, grandiose logo for our practice. And I'm going to take it and see if it works out and see if we can replace the one that we have now.
And what is it called? Ohio what?
Ohio Foot and Ankle Specialists.
Ohio Foot and Ankle Specialist.
That's way too many words from Mase.
No, I'm thinking how I'm gonna do the O. I'm thinking
The camera's got you, by the way, so we're expecting it at the end of the show.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Fuck out of here. Yo, fuck out of here like you Bill Ross, nigga. You ain't this nigga. You ain't him. you him? Yo, you ain't this nigga, Murder.
Oh my God.
You ain't Bill Ross. Bill Ross drove shit on the spot. Bill Ross had the shit done in 30 minutes.
That's
nigga.
what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that right
now. You're not fucking with Bill Ross, bro. You can't fuck with Bill Ross. 30 minutes RP, man.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Bob Ross, partners, Bob Ross. Can't fuck with Bob Ross, man.
Oh my gosh. The camera pan is hilarious. Well, I'm happy everybody's having a great day, but I can tell you somebody who's probably not having the best day. Ben Simmons is officially out for the remainder of the season with a back injury. So I'm just going to ask you guys straight up, do you guys think his career is over?
Oh my goodness. He's out with what?
Back injury. Remember that nerve impingement thing I told y'all about? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Focused on the design.
Well, I started off. That nigga done, man. I don't know if his career over, but man, I don't know who said it earlier in the season where they say Ben just loved the lifestyle and not necessarily love being an NBA player. And I don't know if I like paid attention to when y'all said it then, but I'm like paying attention to it now. And I said, man, there's no reason that this dude has, well, not no reason. I just don't believe that he has this many injuries and he's not playing it up, to some degree. And I just was like, man, this dude just doesn't love basketball and he doesn't want to play. And a back injury is one of those things where I don't want to say you can fake it, but you can make something seem like it's more strenuous than what it is. And so it just doesn't look like my man wants to play in the NBA. He might want to get the hell out of New York and go elsewhere. Maybe want to live on the West Coast. I don't know. But it doesn't look like Ben Simmons wants to play to me. Just my personal opinion.
You want me to go next, Ross? Mace Ross?
Yeah.
Concentrating.
Is it real? I guess so, Cam.
Yeah. Mase is like a jack of all trades. He's a barber too, in case you didn't know. He cuts hair also. He fixes bikes. He does like all type of Christian. He's one of them niggas who do everything. So it's going to turn out decent, but Maurice ain't going to be able to use it. Ain't no graphic.
I need more time. I need more time. I'm finished already. I already got it.
What is that?
What is that, man?
What is that?
Okay.
I really want to know.
Like, man.
Foot and ankle? What is this?
It's a O.
Oh, foot and ankle and waves?
Yeah.
So, okay. Maurice, would you buy this logo?
You can't see it. You can't see it.
That's what it is.
That's a pretty decent oval though. That's pretty decent for
Yeah,
a kind of a perfect circle.
It's that. Come on, it's that. And it's supposed to be black with white letters. You just need the O because once you trademark it, you got to spend money on the logo to make it pop.
Mm-hmm.
The more people see it, the more they believe in it.
This is just the outline.
Yeah, this is just the outline.
Simmons, man, this nigga's crazy, man. Listen, I wouldn't buy that logo. I think it's good for a hood nigga. If you outside in the corner and niggas trying to start a company.
Yeah.
Yeah, niggas in the hood like, yo, go to murder. We need the label. Tell them to start the first drink. We need the drink for the label. Somebody in the hood would buy that.
Yeah, it's like
but you gotta tell niggas you ain't do it.
Yeah.
You gotta tell a nigga last name gotta be Francois. Francois. Yeah, they buy shit from niggas with them funny names. Yo, back to Ben Simmons real quick. Look, it's just I don't want to keep hitting on a punching bag. We've been talking about this since the beginning of the season. This is nothing shocking to me. This is how the last few seasons ended. Mo is absolutely right as far as back injuries are concerned. You can say no. Problem is, you don't know whether to believe him or not because you seriously have a back injury and the doctors can't figure it out. Or you can be faking a back injury and they can't figure it out. So what I will say is this. I have to give Ben Simmons a lot of credit for robbing the NBA with no gun like this. The robbery is ridiculous. So 2 years ago when he first got to the Nets, he got $33 million. Last year he got $35 million. This year he's getting $38 million. And next year, the final year of his contract, he's going to be making $40 million. I don't know how many games he played in the last 4 seasons, but whatever it is, 33 million, 36 million, 38 million, and 40 million is amazing for a nigga who probably didn't even play a full season within all 4 seasons. So, Ben, you got my props for being a robbery like this. As far as you getting another job, what I will say is this. Wherever he goes, if somebody even wants him, wherever it is, wherever the bare minimum is, that's what he's going to get. He probably, I don't know if he qualifies for a veteran minimum.
That's what I was going to say, the veteran minimum.
Yeah, I don't know if he qualifies for that yet, but if he does, that's what he's getting. But you will not get another max dollar ever. I won't say ever because you're still pretty young. You got some time, but it does not look good, bro. You're going to have to play for 2-3 years to prove yourself again before you get some real money. But at the same time, you made enough money to where you're like, fuck it. So I don't want to say his career is over, but if he does go somewhere else, it'll be pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I was signing him as a GM, I would sign him to a 10-game contract with the option to pay him what he's worth if he's at every 10 games. Every 10 games. That's what I would do. I wouldn't invest more than that because, like you said, Killer, he plays for about 11 games, then get hurt, then come back for another span of 10 games, and then leave out again. So I protect my money.
Think it's been a 10 game. I don't think it's a 10 game span this year.
For real?
I really, nah, not even this year. I think he might have played 10 games. I don't even know if he played 10 games this year.
Said he played 15 games.
Yeah, we're
Total?
on games like 6. Yeah, it's 60 games into the season. He played 15 games.
And since 2019, it says he's played 172 games according to this site.
That's exactly. 2 seasons.
So yeah, exactly.
And with playoffs, that's less than 2 seasons with playoffs.
Yeah, but I just would say at some point, man, and like I don't know, just I think like if you're a professional athlete, at some point the money, like you make so much money where the shit shouldn't mean, I guess, as much, and you going out there and you doing it for the love of it, you know. And I think that may be the disconnect with people, like, you know, it's motherfuckers who work hard for money and just your average everyday person. And I think the resentment with him comes from motherfuckers like, man, you make $30-40 million, like there's nothing that's that serious that could have you hung up and faking injuries and not want to get out here and play and perform for people who come to see y'all. You know, and I think like that may be a lot of people's frustration. Then I think all the jokes and everything get built from there.
I think actually when I was in Australia, right, when I was getting ready for the show, there was nowhere you can go to get the sports from the United States. So even though basketball is great here, and I heard, you know, even Killer, when you be saying that this is football is America's sport, or, you know, stuff like that. When you're in Australia, nobody's really watching basketball. Not really. So it may be very popular here, but to his defense, when he gets over there, that's not really the focus. It's like people playing soccer, people playing probably rugby and all of this other stuff, and they're not even thinking about basketball to a great degree. And that seems like it's translating over here, that he wanted to come over here to see what it's like, but after he been with the Kardashians and he, you know, met the owner of Balenciaga, he's kind of not motivated anymore. That's what I'm picking up.
Well, what I will say about that is real quick, it's arguably, and, you know, this is a big debate amongst basketball outside of America, that Australia may have the second best basketball league outside of the NBA. A lot of people say that. It's a lot of people that's supposed to go pro that don't want to go to China and necessarily Europe, and they end up in Australia. You know, Mase, she was out there for a while. I guess it's beautiful. The weather's nice in the winter, so on and so forth. But, you know, even shout out to my man Corey Homicide Williams. He's he former announcer and former player from over there. That's why they sent Lonzo Ball over there as well, because it's supposed to be the toughest league outside of the NBA. So what I really believe is that he rounding up his money as he should, and then maybe we don't know what he may say after next season over. He may really say, I don't want to play ball no more. But why say that now when you're in the middle of getting another $70-80 million?
Another sympathy bag. I call it a sympathy bag right now.
Right. So, you know, it's people who've done it before. It's people like, you know, I respect Andrew Bynum. Andrew Bynum said, I'm good.
Yeah.
They're like, Andrew, you're like 23 years old. Cut it out. Nigga said, I said I'm good. You don't believe me? Let me go dye my hair blonde and walk around with 2-3 bitches so I can already, you know, this David Stern league. He doing shit David Stern don't like to prove he not coming back. He meant what he said. At 24, 25 years old, nigga said, I said I'm done. He pulled a murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At a young age, nigga said, niggas don't believe me. I said I'm not coming back. You know, and he was super young. You can also go to a player like Calvin Johnson, Megatron.
Yeah.
He said,
Megatron.
I said I'm done. I'm not coming back. You know, he was a little older and he had, you know, he was doing his thing, but he put his foot down. He said, I'm not coming back. You got to give it up to Lennox Lewis. He still had a lot of fight left in him, pause. But he said, I'm not coming back. And if Ben Simmons may be on his road, but want to grab his money before you do it, who knows?
Okay. Moving along, AB and Alicia Baumgardner are going back and forth after she called him broke. AB came back and said he said she's not really from Ohio for real. And then he called her ran through and listed people in the industry that she was messing with. So do you guys think he took it too far? And then what do you guys think is too far? Maurice first.
Yeah, this is an Ohio issue. This is an Ohio issue. Us niggas from Ohio, man. Like Killer say.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't know. This goes like a few different ways, right? So I don't want to chop her name up, but Alicia, she's been in the news lately because they've been trying to egg on a fight with her and Clarissa Shields. And, I don't know how many, I don't know if anybody keep up with boxing that much. But, they've been trying to pit them towards each other. So I know she's been in the news lately for that, right? And I know that's been like a hot topic, right? And then the AB situation, like when I first started thinking about this goes back to when, like, I just started thinking about when AB was kind of like taunting and hinting at, instead, I'm gonna get to your question. When he was hitting at Floyd, like, "Yo, Floyd, give me a fight," and he started talking crazy about Floyd and just saying all type of crazy shit and stories. And he was just trying to get the energy or the promotion around Floyd, like basically letting him fight him for like a payday. And then when I just like looked at AB and where he was at in his career and just the amount of attention that he gets when he just starts to do his thing on the internet, I looked at this like in two ways. Like, one, he's talking crazy about her because he's like taking shots at Bill Haney for trainer, like for trainer, and talk about he was calling Bill Pimpin' Bill. But what I think he was trying to get at, he was trying to egg on Bill to say, "Hey man, won't you let me fight Devin or create some sort of synergy or energy around that?" Where I think he kind of took it too far and it went somewhere else. He knows that she messed with the dude Tony Harrison, and Tony Harrison is a boxer out of Detroit. And I just think like it get real touchy and real messy when you got somebody who in a relationship and you basically calling her a hoe and you talking about all the niggas that she fucking. Like it just get into like a whole different space. And I just seen like, and it's just from my lifetime and just being in prison, I just seen so many dudes who probably wouldn't do nothing if you disrespected them. But when you disrespect the women that they with or in front of women, you kind of force people hand. And I just start thinking about Tony Harrison and how he would receive the comments rather than Alicia. Because now when you talking about the girl that somebody is with as a hoe, like you kind of put the dude in a situation where he like, "What the fuck you mean she a hoe? I'm with her and you clowning her, but you kind of taking shots at me." So I thought like that's where it got with a little messy. But then I think AB a nigga who really don't give a fuck. And he like, "Nigga, like I got work and nigga, if you want to smoke, whatever." And I think that he knows that it's good for business. So you look at Jake Paul, you look at, how social media drums shit up. And I don't know, I just looked at it from a few different angles. I don't know y'all thoughts, but I know I was long-winded, but that's kind of like my thoughts on the whole situation.
I want to hear from the rest of Ohio. Killer, what you got to say?
First of all, shout out to Fremont, man. We ain't gonna diss no parts of Ohio, man. I don't like the way AB tried to diss Fremont like that, man. Like we all together, man. Cincinnati, Columbus, Youngstown, Cleveland, Fremont, Toledo. It's a bunch of us, baby. Yo, don't zero out on Fremont like that, AB. We all from Ohio. Don't do that, man. I know you upset, but don't take it out on Fremont. Shout out to them niggas out there and them young ladies out there in Fremont. We're gonna start with that. But I totally agree with what Maurice just said. That's kind of where I was headed. Is that this is more of a Adrian Broner, Bill Haney situation, and she's just becoming a casualty in it. When we put out the day we filmed our show with Bill Haney, the very next day, Adrian Broner and Bill Haney was on live arguing with each other before this even started. As soon as we shot our show with Bill Haney, the very next day it was on live. It was a big argument between AB and Bill Haney, and they called him a bitch ass nigga. Adrian Broner said, "You a bitch ass nigga." AB said, "You trolling." Bill said, Nigga, I don't be trolling, I'm rolling. I said, I like that one, but I'll keep it now. He said, Bill said, I'm never trolling, I'm rolling. AB said, I'm rolling too. Bill said, well, cut on the lights. You in that dark ass car. AB was in the car. It was. He said, let's see what you rolling in. AB said, stop playing with me, nigga. You know I'm in the streets. Bill said, what streets you in? You in the dark right now. It was crazy. It's on Bill Haney's page for anybody who wants to go back and look at it. He kept it up. So that stemmed from, I don't want to say from our show, but it's coincidental. Not saying that they didn't have problems before, but after our show, this live argument happened between Adrian Broner and Bill Haney. And then I caught up on the rest with Alicia. Bill's training her. And AB said, I'm just bringing our viewers up to speed if they're not aware with everything that's going on. Bill Haney is training or, coaching, whatever he is to Alicia. AB gets on his story or his page and says that Bill ain't no trainer. He don't even train his own son, goes on and on and on. And then he starts to call out Alicia in the middle of that with Maurice just said, as far as him calling her a hoe, basically. Naming 4 or 5 niggas that she supposedly slept with, according to him. And then the guy, Tony, that Maurice just said, which is her boyfriend right now, I don't know him very well, but Adrian didn't really have a lot of respect for him either. Adrian said,
he a brawler.
Yeah, well, I ain't saying he didn't, but that day on his page, he disrespected him because what AB said was, mad niggas ran through her. Tony, I don't know why you wifed her. And he said, that's on you. And he said, man, I don't know what you was thinking about, but you wifed her. After he named all the niggas that supposedly ran through her. He said, you just a different type of nigga. That's on you. So I was like, wow. Like I said, Maurice, you have more boxing background on him, but I was like, that was disrespectful. Everybody catches strays right now because of Adrian and Bill Haney's beat. So as far as what I think about him going back and forth with her, I think that wherever it's at, it should be left at. I think that young lady, of course, is going to have a response if you're saying something about her. And what I noticed is that AB is standing on, all he was trying to say was Bill Haney is not the trainer. He doesn't even train his son, and he's standing on that. But it done got leaked into how many niggas she fucking, basically her boyfriend's a simp, and, in other words, what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And now it just went past him and Bill Haney. It's leaking into other people's personal matters. So hopefully it'll die down. I like to see Ohio stick together. And this is somebody who's not from Ohio interrupting Ohio business. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. So, I just think that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last thing I'll say is this. I didn't really see her last response, but I just seen that Adrian did another response. He did 2 on his page so far. But when I checked her, she was just putting subliminals on her story like, people wake up and think about me in the morning. I ain't got to respond. You know my name. She was being light when I seen it. I didn't really see a lot of, girls know how to say 2, 3 things and piss you off without having to be long and drawn out. They know how to hurt certain people's ego really quick and really fast. And that's what it seemed like from what I seen she posted.
Well, that's super dope. I want to ask you something, Stat, so we can get you involved. Can you put all the ABs in order? Adrian Broner, Alicia, and AB, the football player.
Antonio Brown, in order of what?
Just 1 through 3. Let me hear you.
1 through 3 regarding what?
I mean, who's the best ABs to you?
The best AB?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna choose the girl first. So shout out Alicia. Then I'm gonna put Antonio Brown, Steelers, duh. Then Adrian Broner last.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. They all run with the title AB. Yeah. So that's a pretty interesting one. Everybody's looking online. Give us your top 3 ABs.
That's a good question. Okay. Moving along. Francis Ngannou is getting ready to fight Anthony Joshua. What are you guys predicting for the match? Maurice first.
Well, I think Francis, if you've seen him fight Tyson Fury last time, he surprised a bunch of people by having the ability to take a punch. He was a lot more fundamentally sound than I thought. I had only previously seen him fight in the UFC and never seen him box, and I thought that Tyson Fury was basically going to basically beat him a lot better than what took place. And really, Francis actually won that fight. So I think that he actually goes out here and beat Anthony Joshua. But when I look at this fight, I think of two things. And I look at this fight and I was like, man, this was the fight. When you look at the purse and the money that these dudes gonna make, this was the fight that Deontay Wilder was supposed to make and have when he was in his prime. Him and Anthony Joshua had went back and forth, just talking crazy to each other. And they both had at one time they both got offered like $40 or $50 million a piece, but nobody wanted to lose their undefeated status when they both was undefeated. And ultimately their careers in some capacity both went in different directions. But be it that Anthony Joshua is from England, I think he's from England or something like that, and he has more cachet or he has more international appeal than Deontay Wilder. He's still able to grab $50 million. And then Francis Ngannou, shout outs to him because he wasn't making a ton of money in the UFC. And since he fought Tyson Fury and had a good showing, he's able to now fight Francis. But ultimately, I think Francis beat him. I've seen a couple times when Francis had fought Anthony Joshua, or when he had fought Tyson Fury, he has stunned him, fundamentally sound, and he built like almost like a bodybuilder. So I don't really see him getting bruised and hurt, by Anthony Joshua. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, just make a little correction. You're here with the experts, so I got to bring you up to speed. Well, actually, Wilder did offer him a whole lot of money. I remember that back in the days, the fight. And I think Anthony Joshua has always been scared. And this is my take right here. I think Anthony Joshua has always been afraid of Deontay Wilder, especially when he was punching crazy, and he was knocking niggas out. Anthony Joshua was trying to fight anybody but Anthony Wilder. I think that's what got him knocked out when he was trying to duck him before, and he ran into Andy Ruiz. You remember that?
Ruiz, yep.
Yeah, so he's been trying to duck. He wanted to fight Tyson Fury before he would fight Wilder, but he's probably ready to fight Wilder now because Wilder's been hurt a couple times now, so it's not the same Wilder probably in his eyes. But when it comes to this guy, Francis, how do you say his last name again?
Ngannou.
Ngannou. I actually like him as a heavyweight. When I saw him again against Tyson Fury, he looked very impressive. He looked almost like he's taking his striking from the UFC and using it in boxing, but he's using it actually well. And he knocked Tyson Fury down, I think, once or twice. So I think when it comes to Anthony Joshua, I'm going to go out on a limb, and say that Francis will stop Anthony Joshua. I'm going on a limb and saying he's going to stop Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua don't like to really get active like that.
I'll say this whole boxing shit is a mess, man.
Yeah.
The whole shit is a mess. The whole boxing shit is a mess, bro. It's one big fucking mess, B. This is where we're at in boxing, and we got to go find UFC niggas to come into boxing to make an interesting fight in boxing.
Yeah.
This is where we at. This is where we at. We're going to talk about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson a little bit later in the show. But this is where we're at. When it comes to boxing, this is where we at. We got kickboxing, niggas who put niggas in wrestling holes. Fly, knee to the chin. This is where we at. We grabbing these niggas to make boxing interesting. Yeah, to make boxing interesting when all the boxers are just fighting on social media. You know, I want to, as much as it's crazy. It's wild.
The real boxers are fighting on the internet.
Yeah, this is what's going on, and this is what we gotta. I'm sitting there listening to both y'all niggas before I go. Like, yeah, the technique, and when he fought Mike Tyson Fury, and I'm like, yo, this is not a boxer. Even though he was good against Tyson Fury, don't get it fucked up. I seen that fight. He did good, but we're really analyzing kickboxing skills and. Pardon me, not just kickboxers, mixed martial art, UFC niggas skills. Somebody was really impressive, and these
niggas don't want to get in the ring with the niggas they should be fighting.
Yes, that's the point to where now analysts is trying to really make a fucking logical explanation on how the fight supposed to go when it's fucked up anyway. I'm gonna watch the fight. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch the fight. But at the end of the day, this is ridiculous. Look, Anthony Joshua, y'all both said it. He had a certain appeal at a certain time. But once you lost the chubby Spanish nigga, it was a dub. Niggas like, yo, this nigga losing to this short Spanish nigga. Fuck is this? Yo, nah, this nigga ain't like that. Nigga ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you caught your wave when you beat Klitschko. And then Tyson Fury beat Klitschko. That should have been the fight with y'all two right after that. Mm-hmm. Y'all wanted to, even though Deontay ended up fighting Tyson 3 times, y'all niggas in the heavyweight division was dancing around, not wanting to fight each other for a minute. Then when them L's start coming in from random niggas want them to start fighting each other again. Niggas start losing 1-2 fight. Yo, what you doing? I thought we supposed to get it in. When you was undefeated, y'all wasn't reaching out to each other. It's whack. It's fucked up. There's some bullshit. I will watch this fight because I'm very interested. And I don't want. How you pronounce his last name?
Ngannou.
Ngannou, pardon me. Like I said, he's very entertaining, and a lot of people say he won that fight against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I would have said he won.
So I'm very interested to see the fight, but this is some bullshit, yo. We are really watching boxers fight UFC niggas, and now we have to make an educated guess on it. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
But this is the age-old story. Like, this is why they want.
You got to make a hypothesis. You got to make an educated guess on it.
It's a hypothesis on this. Come on, man.
This is why
crazy.
People argue.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, this is why they argue about the UFC is one league, and then Dana White forces dudes to fight. You know what I'm saying? And this is where they say, like, as cool as it is for dudes to like control their own career, like when you have so many people represented by so many different promoters and so many belts, you can't force people to fight. And so then dudes duck each other, and then this is what we end up getting. And like, how do you reverse it? You know what I'm saying? And then the argument against it is, you see, once dudes lose, the interest is gone. So then they hold on to their zero and avoid the dudes who could knock them off. Like, that's the Tank and Devin Haney thing. Like, just to go back into the story, I don't want to cut you off earlier. The real reason AB and Bill Haney got issues is because Adrian Broner was at the fight or at the sparring match with Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. And you remember at one point, Tank was rolling up under AB, and he was the one who jumped in the ring to stop them from sparring. That's the history on that one. Just FYI.
Well,
right?
Bill was on the show. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about. We already knew that. Yeah.
But this is the whole reason is why these dudes won't want to fight each other, because everybody's scared to lose. And then you get into these situations that through necessity, you start to say, okay, how do you entertain yourself? And then you get your Jake Pauls, you get your Francis Ngannou, and then it becomes a spectacle, and where dudes who really box should be boxing. So I don't know who created the issue, but the issue is what everybody has to deal with.
Look, let's just be clear. It's money to be made, and if it's money to be made, then promoters are going to do it. It isn't like it isn't money to be made. I'm just saying, look where we're at. When Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, that shit made astronomical money. You know, but you're looking at the two top people at the top of their sport at the time when they fought each other. So when people are saying, yo, niggas made 600 million, you're not gonna make 600 million. Y'all two ain't at the top of y'all sport like these two niggas wasn't. And you're not gonna sell the fight. Like you had two niggas who know how to sell the fight. You had two niggas who knew how to sell the fight. So, you know, it's money to be made, but I'm just saying this is what it boils down to. That boxers are fighting on Twitter, and now we are sitting here watching boxers fighting UFC niggas to entertain ourselves, yo.
Until the boxers get off X.
Right, exactly. And we may be talking about Twitter, or we may be talking about drugs when we say X. I'm just telling you, either one. So, and then another thing, what I'll say lastly is this: for the UFC fighters, I don't know what the breakdown is, but it's definitely a come up because, you know, Bill Haney alluded to it on the show. We just didn't dive into it when we was on the show with him, but he said something slick, and we let it slide because we was pressed for time on the show. Yeah. But, you know, when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather wanted to keep him at $10 million because he had never made $10 million in the UFC. As big as a celebrity he is, he didn't even never make $10 million, but of course he ended up making 100 and some change. But Floyd was like, why should I give you more than that? And he never made that in the UFC. When Bill Haney was on the show the other day and Mase asked him what he think, or I asked him, matter of fact, I asked him, would he think Dana White make boxing better? What he said was, and we didn't dive into it, his answer was, he would make it better, but is he off that slave ship? He need to pay niggas. Because it's a big mystique with Dana White that he does everything great. You see the fights you want to see. It's at a quick pace. You don't have to wait years, months. It happens, but the biggest dilemma with UFC fighters is they're not getting paid what they're supposed to get paid. So when you got a UFC fighter that's still decent, willing to fight a top 5 heavyweight, and you can make some money, nigga, like, man, I'm gonna make more money in this boxing match than I ever made in a UFC match. So it's a win-win for him too. So everybody's happy except for niggas like me, because nobody's not boxers.
How much are the tickets? You ever been to a UFC fight? Like to sit close? Is it the same as boxing?
Man, Mase, I ain't paid for tickets in about 20 years for nothing, man. I don't know what I asked Nick, he going to one of them shits. Nick just invited me to your shit Saturday. Fuck, I look like buying tickets, nigga. My face card is crazy. Pause.
Nick, are the tickets the same as being at a boxing match? You know how they spending like 20 to sit close? It's probably not. Yeah. Wow. So if the money is the same, Killer, and Dana White just, oh man.
Well, just for context, the most money Francis ever made, and he was a champion, was $600,000 in the UFC. He about to make $20 million fighting Anthony Joshua.
That's why he's boxing.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. Johnny Manziel, show me the
money. Well, the discussion won't end here. First, we're going to go to break. And when we return, we will discuss Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Don't go anywhere.
And shout out to Dana White getting that money.
Pink horsepower. She called this thing about toxic.
What's happening, baby? Baby, what's happening?
Why are you walking like that?
That's how I walk.
And then, like, you come on breathing on me like that.
I fucking breathe to live.
And, like, you used to be dark-skinned, and now you act like hella light-skinned.
Are you fucking blind? I'm dark-skinned. What the fuck?
And then, like, look at your beard.
The fuck is wrong with my beard?
Your beard looks stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I don't even like it. The way you breathe in, all of that.
Has this ever happened to you? Your girl seems to be mad, angry, upset. She's frustrated. It's only one way to handle that. Pink horsepower.
Remember?
But your breath is really refreshing.
No.
I'm just trying to give you a massage. Plus, have I told you how good your beard looks lately? It looks so good.
No.
PHP. It works every time.
Wait, where you going?
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. Tonight, the Knicks will play the Magic. Underdog Fantasy has Paulo Banchero at 21.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower? Mace?
Higher.
Okay. Cam?
P5.
Hi, I like the way Orlando's been playing and the Knicks are banged up. Orlando, look out for them when the playoffs start. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that. I got higher.
Jalen Suggs is at 3 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower? Cam?
I liked him a lot in Gonzaga. He's still really good. He's the third option probably on Orlando. But he's become a defensive prowess. I'm not going to put him in the same category as Patrick Beverly, but his defense has really been intensive. So I'm going to go lower. I think he's been focusing on that and letting the points come to him as they may.
First quarter points?
Huh?
I'm going to go high. I think he'll have 4 points.
Okay. And Jalen Brunson is at 6.5 assists. Do you have him higher or lower? Mace?
Lower. I think he's going to go crazy on them points-wise.
Okay. Cam?
Lower. There's really nobody to pass to.
Okay.
He's banged up.
Download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. So as we know, it's official. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are set to fight July 20th as a live Netflix event. So what do you guys think about the matchup? And then how do you guys think this whole thing will turn out? Maurice, I'll let you go first.
Wait. Killer, before we get into that, do you think Dana White is getting the money from, do you think he's getting PC of the, what's the guy name?
Not the way I said it so many times. Ngannou.
I don't know who he signed to as far as UFC. If he signed to Dana White, then absolutely Dana White's getting some of the money. When Conor McGregor for Floyd Mayweather, it didn't take a long time to get done, but that's what was holding it up. Dana White was like, what I'm getting, not in those words, but is what am I getting? Dana White is going to get paid if you're a UFC boxer doing anything. So you got to realize a lot of times when it comes to UFC boxers, now it's getting more skilled, and not saying they didn't come up skilled, but it wasn't a lot of places to be seen at. So you get these fighters that's fighting, and I don't want to use disrespectful terms, but in these boxing or wrestling dungeons or wherever they're at, you got to realize, God bless the dead, Kimbo Slice went to the UFC for 2 minutes. Then Kimbo started in the backyard. Yeah. Kimbo was fighting the niggas picnics. You know what I'm saying? So when you get a nigga like Dana White, like, oh shit, I finally been noticed. I'm gonna go fight, and we don't know what them contracts is looking like. Yeah. Mo just said it last segment. The biggest fight homeboy got was 600,000. He's about to make 20 million. Damn right, Dana White's getting some of that money. Look, a lot of people don't know. Dana White is from Massachusetts. He's from that Whitey Bulger era. Yeah. To be honest with you, he told a story how Whitey Bulger made him move to Vegas because he was under extortion. He took them same tactics and brought it to the UFC that Whitey Bulger had with the mafia.
And they can't get mad at Dana. We ain't get mad at Don King. Dana said it's his goal.
I'm be honest, niggas end up getting mad at Don King. That's why he kind of lost all his fighters. But you got to remember what you signed up for, too. It happens in music a lot, too. And I think that it should be a medium between who you sign with and the fighter or the artist, so to speak. Because when you go find these artists, they dead pop. Yeah. You turn them into the biggest celebrity in the world, and then they be like, yo, come on, man, what I'm supposed to get? I ain't get this, I ain't get that. And if they make a lot of money as the manager of them for boxing or as an artist, you should have a meeting like, I ain't think you was gonna pop like that. Let's reconstruct it a little something. I ain't think you was gonna go crazy, nigga. You know, I was protecting my investment.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's both. Sometimes you got a nigga who meet you in the middle, and then sometimes you got the boxing owner or the CEO of the label like, nah, you signed it. Oh, so you don't remember them white ears I bought you when you was in that holes in your shit? You thought Jesus Christ came down. You know what I'm saying? I remember buying an artist a pair of white ears. That nigga just looked at him like, killer, yo, I don't believe this shit, man. I said, they white on white ears, nigga. Calm down, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Say, yo, these is crazy.
These
is crazy, nigga.
Crazy. They murder, they was white on white ears. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember those times too once you blow up, and you got to be like, I think it's fair. Like, I'll give you a great example before I let you guys talk or before we move on. I signed the deal with Asylum Records, Tom Moskowitz and Joey IE.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. You know, a lot of artists don't know after 35 years you get your masters back or whatever. But what Joey IE and Tom Moskowitz did was that after, I believe it was 7 years, because the label, like, they moved on and did other shit too, but, you know, the music was still under Asylum. But in the contract, and, you know, I probably didn't look at the fine print in the contract because they gave me so much money. Them niggas gave me a lot of cash, and shout out to them, my niggas. And you know what I'm saying? So I probably was looking at, you know, I was looking at it like, I don't give a fuck what y'all do after this amount. You know what I'm saying? After this amount, do what you want with the music. But what they did was in the contract, I end up getting my masters back after 7 years. So I got a phone call randomly from them one day, like, Cam, the deal is up. All your masters are going back to you. And I'm like, word? Hey, y'all gave me that money? Y'all my white niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my white niggas, boy.
My white niggas.
I fuck with your white niggas. You my Caucasian nigga? You my Caucasian nigga. So I think it should be a medium somewhere, but I get it. I know I was kind of long with it, but that needed to be said.
No, that's the truth. Sometimes you do have them, come on, my nigga, moments because you recognize how much you had to do and how much you had to invest. And sometimes people don't see it because you're not there with them every step of the way. They think because you're not there, that you're not physically present, doesn't mean you're not behind the scene making major things happen, you know?
Look, and this has nothing to do with Dana White because it actually does. When you think about it, and I put it because everybody doesn't watch UFC as much as basketball or football or you know, maybe it's almost caught up to baseball probably. But the thing about it is this: if you're a head coach, or if you're Dana White who's running the UFC, or a football coach or whatever, you not saying that players don't go practice on their own, because they do, but you have to realize for a head coach or from somebody like Dana White, you have to market this thing. You have to get the arena together.
Yeah.
You have to get the sponsorship dollars in. You have to make sure that everything is correct outside of the fight, leading up to the fight. So therefore, everybody's on the same page. Same thing with a head coach. You sit there and go to practice. The head coach is there before you get to practice. The head coach is there when you leave in practice. The head coach is at home thinking of schemes and plays and dealing with the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator and special teams to make sure that he doesn't look like an asshole of team. It's a lot that goes into coaching and organizing events, not just the artist or the player being there.
Okay. So you guys' opinion now, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, what do you guys think about the matchup?
I think Mike better knock Jake Paul out. He better knock him out. It can't go no other way. If Jake Paul knock Mike out, yo, everything we ever knew about Mike, I might try Mike next time I see him if Mike let Jake Paul knock him out.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just playing. Mike, I'm just playing.
Make sure he says, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I might. all jokes aside, if he let Jake Paul knock him out, I might try Mike after that.
You got that.
I ain't got nothing to do with that,
Right.
yo.
Nah, let me stop. Yeah, we're running to Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mike gonna sell you.
Yeah. Mike, you know we just playing.
It's the extra cheesing for me.
I'm gonna be talking when he leave. You know.
Nigga say when Debo leave, you know I'll be talking.
Nah, I can't
Now,
see Mike not knocking him out. Mike gotta knock him out.
Go ahead, Mo.
yeah, I just remember it was an interview when Jake Paul had kicked off his his celebrity boxing tour or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it because he's a real fighter, so I don't want to disrespect him. And my man is from Ohio, right? But I remember somebody asked Mike about it, and Mike was kind of serious. Mike was like, "Yo, they teased it as like, would you ever fight Jake Paul?" And he was like, "For the right money," but he was like, I wouldn't take it light on him, right? I'll take it serious. But I honestly believe that Mike was like, sort of like this whole internet celebrity sell a fight thing. He like, fuck it, Jake Paul gonna put these people in the seats. I know they're gonna come out to see me, but I think Mike, it ain't gonna be that Roy Jones shit. I think Mike gonna really try to clip him. You know what I'm saying? And I think Mike really gonna try to drop him and let him know, hey man, this spectacle over. Like, I'm coming to fuck you up. That's what I really believe gonna happen. And I'm not saying that Jake Paul isn't good, but if you watch a bunch of fighting, you've seen Jake Paul progressively get better. He's gotten a bunch of hate because he's not a boxer, but that motherfucker gonna fill an arena. Like, he got a fan base like none other. If you watch that motherfucker fight, he gonna put 20, 30,000 motherfuckers in the seats or whatever it is. When I look at it on TV, it look like it's always packed out everywhere he goes. But I personally think Mike gonna knock him out just to prove a point. Like, all right, motherfucker, you fucking around with these other motherfuckers, but some shit I've been doing my whole life, and I'm like, even though I'm 57, what they say, the last thing you lose is your punching power, and I think that Mike, gonna knock him out.
Jake Paul was started by Mike, if I'm correct. Jake Paul actually got his first cosign, I think, from Mike. So Mike said he started it, he gonna finish it. But I think if Jake Paul does come to fight, though, he does come to fight. That's one thing you can't take away from him. He comes to fight. And if he land that shot, he land on that UFC fighter, it might go down. Even if it might go down, it's going to be crazy. Jake Paul is going to be the man. I'm telling you. He knock Mike out.
But I just don't think Mike's pride going to let him. I think Mike's pride is what's going to make him take it serious. I honestly believe that's what I really believe.
We all know Mike gonna win, but I'm saying if Jake Paul you gotta punch his chance if you in the fight. He is 57, so if Jake Paul, he get a hallelujah punch. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Listen to Killer.
Yeah. First of all, we all don't know he's going to win because I don't know he's going to win. First of all, how many rounds is this? Did they say how many rounds this fight is going to be?
I don't.
Even if they don't, I'll say this. If this goes longer than 8 rounds and Jake Paul could go past his fear because Mike is coming to knock him out in the first 3 rounds. The name of Mike Tyson's podcast is called Hot Boxing. So it's like a double entendre for boxing and meaning he's smoking. Mike Tyson smoke a lot, B. And like you just said, he's 57 years old and he smokes like Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg at this point in his life. I think, me personally, if Mike Tyson doesn't scare Jake Paul, because he's coming out aggressive, and Jake Paul can last past 4 or 5 rounds, I think Mike Tyson's going to get tired. I think Jake Paul is going to start taking advantage of it. And I don't know if he's going to put Mike Tyson out, but I believe he will win this fight if it goes past 8 rounds. I don't think Mike Tyson's going to have to stand him if this is longer than a 6-7 round fight. I want Mike Tyson to win, but I cannot guarantee you Mike Tyson's going to win because even when he fought Roy Jones, after maybe that 7th round, both of them were just damn tired because they both were older. Jake Paul is not going to get tired like Roy Jones got tired.
This is not going to the cards. There ain't no way this is going to the cards.
So Mason said that we all know Mike Tyson gonna win. I'm not part of the we all know this. I think that Jake Paul definitely has a chance to win this fight if he can last past the first 3-4 rounds. I don't think Mike Tyson has to stand him for a 10 or 12 round fight. Much as Mike is my man, that's my nigga. But I'm just saying that's a lot of stamina to get, especially with somebody, Roy Jones. I watched that fight probably about 3-4 months ago to entertain myself. And them niggas was dead ass tired after 7. Both of them.
Floyd was running the whole fight. I don't know if he hits Jake Paul, if he can take that punch. But if he does, then he might win. I see what you're saying. He might win.
Yeah. I just believe it's going to turn into a stamina issue. To where if Jake Paul can survive them early rounds, he definitely has a chance to win. I just don't think Mike Tyson's going to have the stamina to do it. I wish Mike the best, and I'm hoping he does win. But we got to stop acting like Jake Paul is a super duper scrub.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Mike Tyson's caliber and Mike Tyson's prime, but obviously he wouldn't have had this fight in Mike Tyson's prime.
Yeah, he picked. You got to think about it. He picked Mike because he think he could beat Mike. I mean, if you really think about it, he's going after big names, but he's going after big names past their prime. He's not going to get niggas in their prime. He's going to get niggas right there where they still got a lot of cachet. They names still mean a lot, and he gets the win.
Anderson Silva.
Yeah. But also,
well, look, at the end of the day, real quick stat, but at the end of the day, don't get mad because niggas is taking the fight with Jake. Not you, Murder. I'm just saying people in general. Niggas is taking the fight. At the end of the day, Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul before we see Tank and Shakur. Before we see Tank and Haney. Before we see Haney, Shakur. This is going on before. And listen, like you said, his name still ring bells, so people are going to come see it. Don't get mad at, why Mike Tyson name ring bells today? Because he was fighting when he was supposed to be fighting. You know what I'm saying? And he was a monster.
Yeah.
So Mike Tyson may give, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson may give more to what we was talking about last segment, more than the average boxer get. Mike Tyson's 57, Jake Paul, some people don't consider him a real fighter, but they're going to generate more money than an actual fight probably will make. Netflix ain't stupid. Netflix do all the analytics, all the details, everything else before they go make a deal. This deal is not by accident, and now it's being on Netflix. This is something new for them as well. The first time a live event. Now they got a live event and plus probably 50 million, 60 million subscribers. This is a win for Netflix as well.
And Jake Paul is a real fighter, just for the record. If he's going in there to fight, he's a real fighter.
Yeah. I actually have to give it up to Jake Paul because he's really been about his business. Because for me, not to show my age, but y'all remember I seen Jake Paul on Disney Channel, right? He was acting in Disney Channel on a show called Bizarre Bark, did YouTube vlogs, did the whole TikTok thing, Content House, and now he's fighting Mike Tyson. To me, that's insane. So shout out to him and making this a legit fight that a lot of people are going to tune in and watch. Because I think when we saw the flyer, everybody's okay, I got to go see that. And that's what people wanted. While other people are ducking fights. So shout out Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike Tyson.
He's more of a fighter than them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason some people say he's not a real fighter because he hasn't fought a boxer yet. You're knocking out basketball players, UFC niggas. You haven't fought a boxer yet. So at the end of the day, this is what he's going to say if he wins.
Yeah,
that he beat a boxer, but is not a current boxer. Jake Paul to this day has still not fought a boxer that's in their prime. But like Stat
he get to
said,
say I started with Mike though. I did start with Mike.
Better than starting with, I get what you're saying as far as on his boxing resume, you're saying, right, absolutely. But as far as what Stat just said, you can't knock a nigga for hustling neither. That nigga hustling like he's black. He hustling like the rent is backed up 6 months. You know what I'm saying? That nigga from Disney to YouTube to TikTok to fighting Mike Tyson. And not only that, niggas hating on him during the process. You can't get mad at that nigga.
Yeah. Nigga got the zone check and now he getting a Netflix check. Oh, y'all don't believe? I take it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Man, you ever seen this?
And not only that, 1 second, Mo, a Disney check.
Yeah.
Before all of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mom. Sorry.
Nah, he take it serious, man. He got a compound down in Puerto Rico. I just keep up with it. And he brought Jellion Love. Jellion Love used to roll over there with Floyd and was a champion at one point. But he brought all them boxing niggas around him, and he really preparing. You know what I'm saying? So he does have a chance, but I think my bias is with my man Mike. And so y'all know I love Mike. That's my dude.
You going with Mike over Ohio? You going with Mike over Ohio?
Hey, listen to me. You forgot my early year moment with Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You remember? Yeah. Mike, my main man. So, like, it's like a bias that can never. I don't care who Mike fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's my man.
Look, Mike is my man. That's my nigga. I'm just saying. Let's be real. Look, this is my prediction for the fight.
Going
this
against
fight goes
Ohio.
past, no, I'm not. I'm not going against. Mike is my man before Ohio. Because that's first of all, we got to go with New York. That's New York, and Ohio's my second home. Chicago's my third home.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: my prediction: if Mike don't get him out of there in 4 rounds, I'll say 5 rounds. Then I believe that Jake Paul's going to win the fight.
So I give you just.
Killer, I hope you don't see Mike. Mike gonna want to talk to you about that.
There's no problem. I didn't threaten to swing on him. You did. I don't want no problems with Mike.
I was just playing.
I want no problems with Mike.
Mike,
at all.
Mike, niggas was just playing, Mike. I remember we was in the tunnel and we ran into Mike. Mike
listen,
had
let
a
me tell
nigga
you
by
something.
the bar say, yo, Mike told me. He said, yo, what did you mean when you said this? Nigga
yeah, Mike is dangerous,
was
man.
trying to hold Mike hands while he was talking.
Yeah, Mike, nobody got time for Mike. Look, let me tell you something. And Mike, my man. Mike is my nigga. Mike, like super my nigga. Mike is Dipset, my nigga. That's my man. But, you know, I've been invited on Mike's show, and it was right after he had Lil Boosie on his show, and I was like, hold on, I don't think I'm gonna go on Mike's show because I didn't like the way he approached Lil Boosie. I said, I don't know what state of mind he in right now. I gotta hold on before I go on hot boxing. Mike looked too aggressive with Lil Boosie for me. I ain't like it. I said, nah, I'm gonna wait out and see where Mike at mentally before I go on that show. Shout out to Mike, though.
Yeah, shout out to Mike and the hot boxing crew.
Okay, well, before
that was a crazy episode.
That was a crazy episode.
Lil Boosie for holding his composure, right?
Shout out to Boosie too. Boosie definitely held his composure. Boosie said, "Man, I'm straight as an arrow." Fuck is you talking about? But they called me like 2 days after that episode. Like, yo, you want to come up there? I'm like, nah. I don't know what's the potential of going up there at this point.
Right. And Maurice, did you have a comment? If you can, you good? Okay. Well, before we wrap, Mase, you got a second logo, or are you keeping it in the archives?
No, I'm not gonna show him my second. My second logo is crazy, but I'm not ready to show it yet. I need more color. You see it, right? It's fire.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, let me cover it up. Yeah.
No, hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, leave it in the studio, because don't come back with a logo and say you did it. You got to finish the whole shit there. Don't come back talking about this
with the cameras on.
Yeah. Nah, so don't talk about you going to finish it at home and all that. Nah, you got to finish the whole thing right there.
Facts. Well, Maurice, thank you for being here.
As always.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
All right.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.